Thank you very much. Now for EMF, Mr. Troszczynski, please.
Merci, Monsieur le Président, chers collègues.
Thank you, President, colleagues. Following the reading of the amendments, I think that we can see that very few of us want the adoption of this directive. Despite the serious work of our rapporteur on this document, we can see that we are going to have to look at some very controversial points. Members aren't here as intermediaries, they are here to bring the voice of the people. We need to call for the strict implementation of Directive 94, particularly as regards disactivation of firearms. There are no various options here. Either the existing directive is respected by all everywhere in the EU, or security imperatives and the bad implementation of the directive will mean the suspension of the Schengen area. Let's be serious and take the right and efficient decision. So rather than acting as intermediaries, I hope, and my group hopes, to see the withdrawal of this directive and to see a text from the Commission sent back to the Commission, because we're wasting time here. As regards the amendments of the rapporteur, I think Amendment 91 tabled by my group is important. We cannot look again at the classification of firearms, because when these are correctly applied, they don't cause any problems to police and security services. Legal holders of firearms will not be going against regulations in force. They should therefore not be subject of suspicion on our part or the Commission, and they should not have their freedoms undermined. We heard that weapons were dangerous, and that we were going to have to change things. That is why amendments that we have mentioned cancel any kind of change for the classification of firearms. Collectors of firearms should be excluded from this directive, as is stipulated in Directive 91. This would be impossible to implement, and French authorities have well understood this. That is the sense of our amendments. We are also calling for, with amendments 840 and 841, the withdrawal of the Directive 2015 related to firearms, which would transform collectors' weapons into something else. We need to favour the development of the black market with the new regulations is not your goal, and I'm convinced of that. Thank you.
Bene.